Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews, as we review the last of the Flux. Chapter 6, The Vanquishers. And, well, it was better than last week's.
Yeah, but so is a kick in the balls.
I mean, true. So to discuss The Vanquishers with me, I have my two usual co-hosts. Firstly, he's better than a punch in the teeth, it's Freezing Inferno.
See, that's what you think that I'm a usual co-host, but I thought it over. I can't handle this Chibnall bullshit. But don't worry, I've left someone here for you. So, shoving into my seat as I escape the orbit of Chris Chibnall is Paradise Towers reviewer Sean Dillon. Take it away, Sean!
If you're hearing this message, that means Fresno is trying to get me to replace them on the Doctor Who Reviews podcast. Unfortunately, I gave up on the Chibnall era roughly around, how I put this, the Halloween apocalypse. So I have absolutely no idea what's been going on lately. I just know that it's basically of the quality of a basic CW show, like an Arrow instead of a Riverdale, where it's just meh and not much else. Look, I watched Jupiter's Legacy earlier this year. I'm not going back to that headspace. You aren't paying me, Fresno. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. Anyways, I hope you the best of luck through this era that feels very much like evil alien space Nazis are no doubt on the verge of coming into the screen. Fuckity bye!
Damn it.
There is no escape.
God damn it! God damn it!
There is no escape from us.
I was so sure that would fucking work. Okay, fine. Hi, everybody. It's me. It's Fresno. I'm here. I'm gonna talk about The Vanquishers, I guess, because I'm too much of a dumbass, and I actually watched the fucking show, so womp womp.
You were given the option to quit, and you didn't take it, so...
Trying to take it! Look what fucking happened!
True. Very true. And to my virtual right, she's better than a kick in the balls, is Kat.
And she's gone.
See, that's what you should have done.
That's what I...
No, you can't make me come back. No.
Wow, there really is no escape.
I told you, there's no escape. It's like Earth's pull of gravity, you just can't get away from it.
Oh, The Vanquishers.
So here we are then, The Vanquishers.
Chibnall has Chibnalled over the screen once more and proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is indeed Chris Chibnall.
I have
We
several
had such hopes.
major criticisms with this particular episode, but most of it will be reserved for the end. Because that's where the thing I find the most egregious happened.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
no, the most egregious thing that happened is the fucking name of the episode, because there's no Vanquishers here.
I think
There are, but
There's none. None.
There are, but well, they intended to be, and we'll get to them later on because it's hilarious that they, of all people, are the Vanquishers of the title.
No, there's no Vanquishers here at all. There's just a whole bunch of bumbling idiots who go around doubling into solutions.
I mean, they literally call themselves the Vanquishers of Time, so...
Yeah.
But anyway, last week we left off with our Doctor in a dilly of a pickle, as Tetsiu was unceremoniously murdered by Swarm in hilarious fashion. How did she escape?
Hilarious. She escaped.
Well, here I'll give Chibnall a bit of credit because he calls back to a previous scene from Survivors.
One of the 3 scenes in Survivors that isn't. Now I will explain you a thing.
Well, the Ood told her not to remove her conversion plate.
Oh wow, Chibnall actually remembers something about continuity? I'm shocked.
So she removes her conversion plate, but she does it just as Swarm goes to touch her, and as a result, she is split in 3. The three doctors.
Cool.
The threefold woman.
The mirrors of herself. I don't have any Doctor Who mirror.
No, I don't think we should waste them on this, to be honest with you.
Can I just say, this is extremely fucking convenient. Like, okay, let's just take out the fact that, this was written by somebody who wanted this to just work. Let's just push that out of the way, because one of you motherfuckers is going to say it, and I don't give a shit. Within the context of Doctor Who itself, the Doctor not only happens to split into 3 equal parts, but she also happens to be in the exact places she needs to be, just so she can happen to fix the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Chibnall plots, where everything is contrived to serve the plot.
Yeah, I mean, I am not really the kind of person to get super hung up on narrative contrivance.
I get hung up when there's emotional contrivance, which we'll get to later in the story. So lucky, everybody gets something to yell about. So, but please continue.
Everybody gets a turn. Please continue.
I don't know. I'm just saying that sometimes there is, a place for this sort of thing where, okay, that's a little hokey, but at the very least it makes sense within the context of everything. This makes no sense whatsoever.
So,
why would she be in these places specifically? Why? Is it because she has a connection to these people? Is this like a love connection thing? Because that makes no goddamn sense.
Because the plot demands it. But literally, it is that.
Yeah. And that's the part that really pisses me off, is you can't write something just because you want it to be that way. You have to have an end game, an end story, and then something reason for it to happen.
I will definitely be coming back on that point when we get to the ending, from emotional contrivance reasons. But
well, yes, there's several things wrong.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Even if I'm not as hung up on narrative contrivance, I can't dissuade what you're saying. Because it is definitely, like it or not, it's a thing that Chibnall era does, and like it not is mainly the consensus. I'm fine with a little sprinkling of fairy dust from the plot contrivance fairy once in a while, if it leads to an interesting story. But A, this didn't really lead to an interesting story, and B, this is less a sprinkle of fairy dust and more a mountain of fucking cocaine.
Currently found in the Houses of Parliament.
Cocaine. Shit, cocaine.
Currently found in the Houses of Parliament.
What? Wait, what?
Have you not heard that story?
No, I haven't heard this story.
They found traces of cocaine in the UK Houses of Parliament.
What the
is
fuck
anybody
is your
shocked?
It looks like government workers were doing cocaine in the toilets.
Yeah, I'm not shocked.
Oh, God almighty. But, 3 doctors, kind of a cute idea. Oddly gonzo in its own little way. It's fun. It's kind of fun to see the doctors interacting, but it's 2 of them because the third one is stuck with the Storm and Azure getting tortured or whatever.
They kind of have like this mental link thing where they interact.
Yeah,
but it doesn't really
do
much.
The doctors do get one of the best lines when one doctor says, "I've got such a crush on her."
Oh my!
Yeah, that was kind of good.
It's a little cute, I can't really fault the general idea of, hey, what if we split up the doctors and had her talk to herself?
It's a fairly original idea. We've had different incarnations of the Doctor work together, but never the same Doctor split into different parts working together.
There was like a 8th Doctor audio that had him split into 3 parts, but that was more like an emotional split.
All right, on TV, on TV.
Like the ego, the super ego, and the id or some shit like that.
Yeah, on TV, though.
On TV,
I will say, all kudos to Jodie. She does a good job of essentially acting off of herself, while in real life she's confronted with a blank screen.
That kind of been easy for her.
No, definitely not.
It's okay. It's okay.
It also leads to another great scene that we'll talk about on its own merit later on with the Grand Serpent.
We can't talk about that yet.
Well, I'm choosing not to talk about that because I'm trying to present the good and the bad mixed together.
I'm just calling back to how we used to do that all the time. It's a continuity reference. Look at me. Hey, I'm reminding you of the thing in the podcast that existed. Give me a raise.
Okay, Chris Chibnall,
Remember
you're fired.
2007?
Oh God.
Do you remember 2014 when the podcast was good?
Somehow the podcast has returned.
Oh my God.
I remember 2015, 6 years ago, when the gang got you to say mirror.
Do you remember 2014 when the show was good?
I hate you all right now.
Yes. So, you've made
This
reference.
totally is an excuse to not talk about the Vanishers. I mean, come on.
You made reference to it earlier that there were no actual
call them the
vanquishers
Vanishers,
in
that's how
the
much I
in the
don't care.
vanquishers, but there were a species that thought that they were the vanquishers. They refer to themselves as the vanquishers. Ladies and gentlemen, the potato aliens are back.
Why?
Please take them seriously, please.
I mean, you
They're
say that,
deadly.
but they wrote that scene in the shop.
They're please take the potato men seriously. They're really deadly killers, and they've taken over Earth twice, and they're the third most deadliest species in the universe, and they've got this clever little plan. They are really powerful, and guys, trust me! Guys, trust me!
They're
I
so
have
powerful.
a request for everybody out there. Does anybody remember that old Old Spice ad where the guy eventually was like, "I'm on a horse"?
Yes.
Classic,
Do that,
yeah.
but with Santarans, please.
Did
I mean, yeah. The Santaran on the horse was a good... But that's the thing. There's some tonal dissonance going on, as we'll discuss another Santaran scene later, but know that, the rest of the episode, minus stuff like the Santaran on the horse and War of the Santarans, and the aforementioned blatant comedy scene, we're supposed to be taking the Santarans completely seriously. They are one of the major threats of the episode. They've taken over the Earth, they're torturing people, they're killing people, and they kill quite a lot of aliens in this story, as we find out.
Well, they commit genocide just off screen, but they commit genocide pretty much.
What's a little bit of genocide between friends?
We're gonna fucking get to that.
We
But-
are. Oh, we are.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Okay.
Again,
Okay, I need to say this now because otherwise it's going to bug me. Even their grand master plan, which we're not going to talk about yet apparently, is not their fucking idea.
No.
It's just not. It is way too sneaky for it to be anything close to their idea. So the fact that he's trying to get us to take them seriously when they are having all these comedy scenes, still fucking Santarans, and their plan is not even their own plan? Yeah, no, fuck you.
Well, they're aided by the Grand Serpent, so he may have provided some details.
Okay, but see,
He didn't provide the details. I think he came up with the whole fucking plan.
but
It's just he chose the one side that wouldn't actually kill him on sight.
I just got an idea in my head, actually, considering that you just said, oh, Santarans, they're not sneaky. They're like big brutes. Oh, I'm going to kill you because it's glory, a battle. I'm like a discount Klingon. And it made me think, what about a story with like a Santaran spy? What would that look like? Like actual espionage and using advanced tech to do recon.
You know
shit
the
like that.
Emperor's New Groove?
I have seen
Yeah.
that movie in the past.
You know that scene where Kronk is trying to get rid of the transformed Emperor and he's like darting around and the narrative being given by Kuzco is saying, oh god, he's doing his own theme music?
Huh.
That's a Santaran spy.
Oh my god.
You just see a potato like clinging to a wall going, da-na, da-na.
Coming soon to Big Finish, espionage of the Santarans.
Big Finish. We love stories.
Just not about
Big
the Santarans,
Finish.
apparently.
10 times better than the actual TV show.
Well,
Some
Sometimes
of
they-
it.
For now.
Some of it.
For now.
Yeah.
so
By all accounts, Stranded was pretty great.
listen to Stranded. I was listening to some E-Space ones. I had to take a little trip there the weekend. It was interesting. Yeah.
Let's put
Yeah.
it this way. It's better than The Flux.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Especially
so
the
many
two
things are
ending
better than the
episodes.
Flux, but
Like a kick in the teeth.
also
I
the
mean-
Santarans are taken so seriously they're defeated by a door. So it turns out that a lot of my predictions did not come true this week. Thank God.
It's funny how so much hinges on the doors.
Oh my God. But we did correctly predict that Yaz would open door 9 to save them from the Sontarans. It wasn't the Daleks.
No, it was just space lightning, but
It's
you
just
know,
some
okay.
firebolts that kill them instantly.
Space
It's
lightning.
really adorable how he wants us to take them seriously.
Oh no.
It's making me feel better. Shut up.
I will take puns, even bad puns like that. Something, anything to lighten this tension. But yes.
Well, I guess we should frame the scene for everybody.
But
Is
yes.
that another one?
It was.
Yes.
They get past the Sontarans and then they run into Kate Stewart. And Kate Stewart proceeds to do absolutely nothing of note throughout this entire episode.
Yeah, mood. In fact, it's not even clear what she's been doing in the intervening 4 years.
She's the leader of the resistance against the Sontarans, which we didn't see.
Well, oh, wait. We saw exactly, maybe, one resistance member get the snake treatment.
Yep.
Wow!
An
World building!
An unnamed Liverpudlian in perfectly casual clothing.
This is, once again, just a scene where the plot demands it. Or, in this case, the playing to the fandom demands it, I guess? Because there's
Nostalgia
no
baiting?
reason for Kate to be here.
At least he didn't kill her
How
off.
did she know that they were going to appear in the tunnels? Why did she come to the tunnels? What kind of resistance is she running? Is there an actual resistance, or is it just her trying to screw up everything behind the scenes?
Yeah, okay, see,
Who
this
knows?
Is, yeah, this is
I
where I'm
think there
actually
is a
starting
line
to
where
agree
she
with
says
you.
she trapped the Sontarans going to the tunnels or something, but you're right.
I think
mean-
I said this before in maybe both of the past 2 series that Chibnall has done. But once again, it feels like he's just trying to give us a cool thing to look at rather than having any sustenance to it.
Literally this entire episode. A series of cool things to look at, but there's no substance.
Yep.
And we should
mean,
point
and I'm
out that this is one of the 3 locations where one of the 3 Doctors emerges from.
And I mean,
Again,
Kate,
no reason.
Kate Stewart meeting 13 should be a neat thing, but all she gets is like, oh, you know, I kind of like this regeneration at the very end. And she's just like, oh, it's the Doctor. Okay.
And
Fine, no
Kate
big
is
deal.
Chibnall's creation.
It's like, I'm starting to agree with Kat. I mean, I know what I just said about narrative contrivance, but you're getting away from narrative contrivance and more into, what the fuck is this, the reason for this to be here?
None.
Or what relevance does this actually have to the plot, other than, hey, look, it's Gemma Redgrave, who you know from the other show. Remember 2013 when the show was good?
Like, oh my gosh, it is so easy to just sort of hand wave these things away. With the Doctor getting split up, have it be a mental connection where she has a mental connection to Yaz, and then she has a past connection to Cavanista, which we'll talk about in a minute, or whenever we finally do it, or Carvanista. Fuck it, I don't care anymore.
This
It's like when Kate goes down to the tunnel, say that she detected a certain kind of, energy, and it was radiating from the tunnel, so she decided to go down there and check it out, and then she finds everybody.
Yeah. In a better story written by a better writer, like say Moffat, I can excuse things like this because like the story is well constructed, and I can just sort of make my own little connections to make things make sense and fill in the little plot holes, whatever. Just fill them in with a little bit of narrative gravel, headcanoning, and everything makes sense to me. But Chibnall stories are just, you can't do that because the stories have so little substance that all you can think of is, wait a minute, there's actually no fucking emotional or narrative reason for this to connect to that. What the fuck?
You know what? You know how we usually tell, our viewers and, in relation to screenwriters, we usually say, show, don't tell?
Mm-hmm.
Chibnall has taken the stance of don't show and don't tell.
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
It's very, very bad, but that's a very, very good observation.
This chapter for me sort of symbolises what's wrong with Chibnall's writing. Because on the one hand, there's too much exposition. On the other hand, there's so much missing detail in the exposition.
Yeah.
That's another great observation. Do we have anything more to say about the Sontarans, or should we talk about, like, admittedly, the one good scene with the Sontarans?
Chocolate!
Okay, this is fucking stupid. But it's that special brand of fucking stupid where it's so fucking stupid that I can't help but grin like an idiot. It is like the giant rubber snake in Kinda. It's like half of Paradise Towers. It's like someone help me remember. Fish people going on strike. It's one of those moments. It's just so fucking. But also, it's very clearly delineated as this is the stupid moment of the episode instead of just here's the thing we're doing. It's kind of stupid, but it's part of. Just roll with it. It's a lot like the hermit dude from the last week, where that's very clearly signposted as this is the silly bit of the episode, and it's like it's almost setting up laugh track signs at you.
Why are the silly bits the best bits as well?
I mean, Moffat got that too. Moffat has done some great fucking silly bits over the years.
Yeah, but he's also a competent writer.
Yes, he is. But also, hey, and even from a, oh, actually, yeah, this is a good episode, I'd say. Like, the Pope.
Oh God,
the Pope
yes.
is a fucking dumb bit.
That's one of my favourite comedy moments of all time.
Missy shoving Clara into the hole.
20 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That always makes me giggle.
I think Missy makes me giggle, even when she's killing people.
I didn't like that episode at the time because I was like, I love Clara. Stop treating Clara like shit. But now I'm like, I can. Yeah. She's her companion, and Missy is being like the worst.
They were a good team together.
They were.
Yeah.
Which is familiar, was a good story.
What are you doing? Murdering a doll like it's our golf.
And I mean, it's also like you have a weird sense of tonal dissonance, but like it's not an interesting tonal dissonance. Like I fucking love tonal dissonance. For fuck's sakes, my game of the year this year is Doki Doki Literature Club. You want fucking tonal dissonance? Take that shit.
Spoilers for the
like,
Soxcast Game of the Year list.
Hey,
Just Monica.
just Monica.
Just Monica.
Jesus Christ, how horrifying! Let's talk about chocolate.
Just Monica.
So the Sontarans apparently now have a sugar addiction. And I think they explain it because they're a clone-based life form. Oh my God.
Just Monica.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I blanked out for a moment. What happened?
Nothing happens.
Monica attempted
okay.
to get into the call.
Yes.
Or rather, you attempted
Monica
to let
has
her.
joined the server.
You attempted to let her into the call. Anyway, yeah, the Sontarans have a sugar addiction now because they're a clone life form or something.
Or something. And they basically are raiding all the corner shops in Britain.
Well, no, see, what I think is that they are raiding the corner shops, but I think it's just this one Sontaran doing it. So he's, like, invading the corner shops, and then in this scene, he tells all the other Sontarans to go away. And then as soon as they're out of the way, he immediately is, like, running towards the chocolate and just shoving whatever he can in his mouth.
And the fizzy pop. And the sherbet. This guy cannot get enough sugar.
And I mean, it's a plot bridge because this guy's in charge of like psychic operations because they're trying to predict where the flux is going to be for their grand plan, and they need psychics. But the doctor is planning to exploit that by getting some of her own psychic friends in there, who we'll talk about later.
Yeah, and Dan Starkey's Sontaran gets a great punchline to this particular bit. Where Cat gives some chocolate ascended me.
There's an entire episode just about chocolate for SpongeBob. It's hilarious.
A meme for everything. But
Everything.
She says to the Sontaran, I need to hear the magic word, and he goes, chocolate.
Look. For all we're down on Chibnall, this is fucking dumb and I love it, okay?
God bless Dan Starkey.
Let it never be said that I can't praise some writing in a Chibnall episode. This is fucking stupid, but by God, he went for it, and I love it. I love it. There you go.
Yeah.
There's your broken clock moment. You're gonna get another one pretty soon.
And this is actually a big plot device to get a couple of our guest characters into the action.
It's like Smash Bros. Everyone is here.
Yeah, Jericho obviously was safe from the tunnels, and they go and recruit Claire.
They just pick her back up from 1967, like, oh, holy shit, you're not a fucking statue. What happened? I got better.
What? Oh, what was that? My continuity friend who keeps track of the Doctor Who continuity? The Angels had put it into its own little time stream, and there's no way that they should be able to go there and get her? Oh, gonna ignore that.
I can hand wave this.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I can hand wave this when they
you're gonna
left.
be waving so much you're gonna get carpal fucking tunnel.
That's a good line. But I can hand wave this particular bit that when they left, the village went back to where it was supposed to be.
You're hand waving so much, you're gonna be the champion and shake the can.
Jesus.
Fucking damn it! Why do you keep coming back to it?
Because we're going to keep the memes alive, apparently.
This is for you, Kateri. Keeping the tropes alive!
And now she's mirroring him.
And now I'm marrying you. Fuck!
But
Well,
don't worry if you
I
enjoyed this chocolate scene, because normal services soon resumed.
Womp womp.
So yeah,
Okay.
they recruit Jericho or rather Jericho recruits Claire, or gets the Doctor to recruit Claire, to be their spy in the Sontaran encampment. So they basically just offer themselves to the Sontaran and say, "We hear you're in need of operatives. Here are 2 reporting for duty."
We're Sontaran sympathizers, and we want to totally help with your grand scheme to do whatever it is you're doing. What are you doing, by the way?
I do kind of like how, well, the thing is hooking them up to a psychic generator and getting them to predict the thing. And it's like, most humans can't handle the strain, and if you can't, it'll result in death. And what if we succeed? You'll be rewarded with death!
Yeah. Another good bit. He does write the Sontarans some of the time rather well. Some of the time.
Some of the time.
Some of the time. I mean, when he's not trying to treat them like the most serious fucking threat in the galaxy, fine.
I mean, even the classic series treated them as a kind of joke. Like a joke that could kill you, but a joke.
Exactly half of the Sontaran stories in the classic series were what you'd call, good. I'm pushing it on that.
And we still got them to look forward to, quote unquote.
Oh, God help us.
Is there
God
any
help
chance
us.
we could move on from the discount Klingons for a bit?
The discount Klingons. Yeah, alright. So, speaking of disappointing villains, I hate to say this, you can now add the Ravagers to that list.
Womp womp.
So they finally explain what the hell their grand plan is.
We're going to kill everybody,
And it's really
and then
dumb.
we're going to reset time, and then we're going to kill everybody again, and then we're going to reset time and kill everybody again.
So they're just Chronica from Mortal Kombat 11 again. I mean, she's literally got a fatality where she kills you, and then rewinds time and kills you again over and over and over again. In that
Hang
game,
on, I've got a GIF for this too.
Did? Yes.
A meme for everything.
The struggle between life and death. Yeah, exactly. A meme for everything. So yeah, they've conquered Division. They've killed Tayun. They haven't quite conquered Division, as we find out a bit later on. But and all for what? For revenge? Well, not quite, because despite implying that it was all for revenge last week, they've got another motive. You see, the Ravagers aren't the big bads of the series. Get this twist. They're the servants of the big bad of the series.
Oh my, and who's that?
It's time.
Oh my God.
And when this was revealed, and I'm still doing this voice for comedy effect, when this was revealed, my eyes rolled back in my skull.
Okay, Chibnall, we have our differences. Like, we have severe differences. You think your writing's good, I think it's bad. Plus other differences. I get it. You want to write a good story. When you start taking plot direction from J.K. fucking Rowling, though, you kind of go too far.
Wait, what?
The cursed child.
Joanne did this?
The cursed child.
The fucking... Wait, did she even write that?
Yes.
No. I was more talking about how, hey, we're in the last book, and have you guys ever heard of the Deathly Hallows? Really? No? Let me tell you about them.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
And then eventually Cursed Child came out, and she authorized it as, like, legitimate. But, you know, she's also a huge fucking transphobe, so...
I thought she wrote up the play into a book.
No, it was written by these two other people, and then she gave her okay for them to, like, market it or whatever.
Okay, fair enough.
But, you know, we've talked about J.K. fucking Rowling enough on this podcast, I think, considering.
I mean, Kat pretty much said what she had to say.
I'm just being very dismissive towards fucking J.K. Rowling.
That's fair enough.
What, J.K. Rowling, the huge transphobe?
Yeah, J.K. Rowling, the TERF. Yeah, her.
Oh yeah, and so Time is their boss. They want to break Time out of its imprisonment on Atropos, and that's what this whole thing was building to. Which, again, in the hands of a better writer, could work.
It doesn't.
There's some sufficiently gonzo idea at play there.
And I suppose them being the servants of Time and them being powerful in their own right kind of works. I mean, I kind of liken it to the second series of Digimon. Where you had Arukenimon and Mummymon and that swarm and Azure.
Oh my god.
And they were powerful in their own right, but then they paled in insignificance compared to their quote-unquote boss.
Nerd.
Kat, you're on a podcast.
Nerd.
Who are you calling a nerd?
I'm a dork. You're a nerd.
Remember when we invented dumb voices because of Digimon indirectly?
Yeah, do you remember when we gave that to the Team 4-Star?
Wait, did we?
We gave them that channel, yeah.
Oh, we gave them the... I think that would be...
We made a channel, we weren't using it. They said, hey, can we use it? Yeah, sure, take it.
And then they went on to make millions of dollars, and you guys are still broke.
No, they went on to make one April Fool's video that people don't even know exists.
Well, thankfully, unlike them, yours will be always remembered.
I was born in the United States of America.
So yeah, the Ravages. This really upsets me. Because we built them up to be this great threat. And this really intelligent threat. Oh, the Doctors battled Swarm across the centuries, across universes, across timelines. And they're dumb. They don't kill the Ood. The one thing that can still operate Division and stop the Flux, they don't kill it. The Ood survives this episode.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Categorically. I think it's the first time an Ood has survived.
Again, the Ood only survives because the plot demands it.
Well, I kind of like the Ood. I mean, it didn't have to die, but...
Lives through the end of time.
True. Ood Sigma. You're absolutely right, yeah. End of time, the Ood did survive. And Planet the Ood survived as well. But they don't kill that thing. They don't think to check on their Grand Flux plan before they go and meet their boss, which we'll get to at the end, because that's the big ending scene. Ties into it.
What even are they doing during this scene other than mocking the Doctor?
Well, that's about it.
Expositing.
Ugh.
And they also want to use the Flux for their ultimate revenge. They're going to destroy the universe, free their boss, Time, and then they're going to use Time to rewind the destruction and play it over and over again like Chronica. Why? Because we find it fun, I guess.
I'm going to make a reference, and I don't know who's going to get it, but Killer Queen bites the dust!
Oh my god.
If y'all...
Okay, so I'm going to go into some plot stupidity. This is me, once again, complaining about, how things are written. Just skip over it if you want to. I don't give a shit at this point. Why is it that the Ravagers decide that the very last place that they're going to hit with the Flux is Atropos, the Temple of Atropos, where time is, being captured?
Because that will release time.
I'm not done. I'm
Sorry.
not done. Shut up.
All right.
And their whole plan is to destroy the whole universe and then bring everything back so that they could do it again, right?
But here's so far.
The very last thing they're going to do is going to be the very first thing that they recover.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're just going to be essentially, you're free, now you're not. You're free, now you're not. You're free, now you're not.
I mean, you could paper it over by saying, "Oh, time is exempt from the rewinding of time, imprisoning time," or
Yeah,
whatever,
but you're right.
At that point, yeah, the cat's got a point. It's like,
Cat has a very good point.
Weird flux, but okay.
Weird Flux.
Yeah, that's actually the name of a round table that's been discussing the episodes. Weird flux, but okay.
I love it.
It's really good.
That's pretty damn good.
I think that Krista McTeer, author of Back to the 11th Hour, available now on Amazon.com, has been on it.
I do love that title.
Let me check that out.
Okay, well while you do that, I'm gonna rant a bit more about Swarm and Azure. They do get one decent scene, I guess, where we finally find out what's going on with this weird house. It wasn't Lung Barrow as everyone thought it might be.
No, because that would make sense.
No,
It'd
the
be
house
an
the house
interesting
is
plot
just
point.
the Doctor's memories. It's just a manifestation of the Doctor's memories.
This is bullshit.
And Swarm destroys part of it, and the Doctor starts to disintegrate. But it's okay because he
Update.
brings her back.
Update. Krista was on the Halloween Apocalypse edition of Weird Flux, but okay.
Okay. Wow, promoting a rival.
Which you can find on Twitter at Hyperfix Station, capital S.
Doesn't listen to our own podcast.
Promotes a
Instead, he
rival,
promotes
yeah.
other people's
What a good friend you are.
Come on, Fred.
Listen. I stayed here under duress after Sean Dillon told me to fucking buy. This is my loyalty, but I'm still here.
Look, I am here under threat of having to watch Survivors of the Flux again, so you don't get to talk.
I never threatened that.
That's rough, Cat.
He's got a video screen right next to me, and it's ready and waiting.
I never threatened this.
Hang on. Don't worry, Cat. I've got a USB file with Monica on it. We'll fix this pretty soon. Or make it worse. You decide.
I was going to
Both.
say, Monica
Both.
does not make things better.
She does both. Just
Oh,
Monica.
Both is good.
Just say Ori, just say Ori.
Just Yuri. Wait, what are we doing?
No.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about bullshit exposition.
Yes, so the
Yes.
scene where the house gets destroyed and then gets reconstituted by Swarm.
Which, they opened the watch, and inside the watch, which is the container of all the Doctor's memories, is another container for the Doctor's memories.
Yeah, a filter within a filter.
Keep in mind, this has never happened with fob watchers before. They would just open them and then they would regain their memories. They never had to go through 5 minutes of bullshit where they decide if they want to enter a house or not.
Well, maybe this is a defense mechanism in case something other than a Time Lord picked up the watch.
But also, this is the extent of what you were saying with simultaneously too much exposition and not enough. So many times we've had to go, this doesn't make sense. Well, maybe what the intent is that if this is a thing and this is a thing, that makes it make sense.
It's
We've had
bullshit.
to do that. We've had to do that like 4 times on this podcast alone, and we're not even a third of the way through our talking points.
No, we're not.
That should say something about Chibnall's writing style.
But yeah,
I'm going to say this is another case of style and no substance, where I think he just had a cool-looking house and he just wanted to give it a point and he couldn't figure out what to do with it, so he decided to bullshit a reason.
it could be.
Yeah. yeah.
I could go on about the Ravagers, but they just disappoint me.
Essentially, Chibnall is writing a college essay where 5% of it is actual, something interesting that you would want to listen to. Then the other 95% is pure bullshit that he came up with the night before.
You just unlocked the memory of me passing in an essay. We're in the final paragraph. I bullshitted out this paragraph. It was a bit of rambling. And when I got the paper back, the professor just highlighted that paragraph and wrote filler.
I once bullshitted an entire essay in an hour before I had to turn it in. I got an A on it.
Well, you did better than I did, but I was just impressed at the time. I was like, you know what? Fair enough. That professor copied my bullshit. Absolutely fucking fair enough. I deserve that. But Chibnall deserves it too. So,
but
here
to me,
we are,
these two
years
villains,
later,
these two villains sort of are the symbol of lost potential in Flux. We could have done things so much more interesting with them. No, they're just exposition fairies.
Yeah.
And their plans don't make any sense. Let's move on to a character that does make sense.
I will say one thing that is going to foreshadow my grand thesis statement about Chibnall. But Rain, for those 5 weeks they showed up, you sure thought that they were going to do something and be important, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. And I mean, they did do things that were important before episode 6.
Or at least so we thought.
Or so we thought. They messed about with the Mori in War of the Sontarans. They released the time particles in Once Upon a Time. Azure did something, I guess, in Village of the Angels. All these teases, all these little appearances, and they add up to nothing.
Chris Chibnall for you.
Not even counting their eventual fate, which, when we get to that, I'm going to have to be held back from exploding.
But first, unfortunately, you were going to
I'm so checked out of this episode that I'm just eating a hot dog right now.
Fair enough.
Oh, damn. What do you got on that hot dog?
Speaking of characters suffering fates worse than death, Carvanista.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Kids, you remember, the Lupari race and how they were trying to defend mankind by having all 7+ billion of their ships? Just, creating a shield around Earth? Well, guess what? They're all dead now because the Centaurans killed them off screen.
Yeah.
So, this is fucking... It is, so totally inconsistent in an episode that's had chocolate. But, I mean, that tonal whiplash can occur in Doctor Who, given a bit of a deft hand, if you really play with it. Chibnall isn't playing with it. On the other hand, fucking... Okay. When Chibnall redestroyed Gallifrey in Spyfall 2, and made the Doctor one of the last of the Timeless again, genocided basically her entire species. I understood why he was doing it. I didn't agree. The reason was bullshit. It was a pandering attempt to return to the status quo. Remember 2007 when the show was good and Gallifrey was destroyed and the Doctor was angst over it. It was that, but I understood that narrative decision. It's something you can understand. Oh, I'll give the Doctor more pathos by rewinding the status quo. It's not a decision I agree with, but it is one I understand. I do not understand at all why Chibnall killed every Lupari except Carvanista.
I know why.
You get one scene of sadness out of him, and that's it. At first, I thought it was like a taunt, a lie to torture him. Ha! Ooh, we totally destroyed.
No, it's fucking real.
No, it's real.
And then I thought, oh, well, half the universe is destroyed, so maybe this is like a Big Bang situation. And whenever we fix the universe, the Lupari will come. No.
No. He's the last of his kind.
For no fucking maybe it's supposed to parallel with the Doctor. Remember 2007 when the show was good?
It is
because. Is that it?
He's the
Probably,
face of he's the face of Bo.
Oh, for God's sakes!
No, he's essentially just the last of his kind, just like how the Doctor used to be and how the face of Bo was.
And I mean, we'll get... the show is paralleling the Doctor and Carvanista, kinda, with a relationship that I'll get into in a second here, but I don't understand this. This is baffling. Like,
and the Lupari are killed off, by the way, by being vented into space while still breathing. Oh my god.
You know what the worst part is? I can fix this really, really easily. Like, stupidly easily.
Go on.
So, bear with me here, because this is going to dig a little bit into the ending, but it needs to be said. So, the whole point of the psychic bridge thing that the Sontarans are doing is to find out where the final flux event is going to happen. And we already know from Swarm and Azure that the last flux event is going to happen at Atropos in order to release time. Earth is still there. Like, it hasn't been taken yet, so obviously this is all a big bullshit anyways, because they haven't hit Earth yet. What the fuck? But why don't you guys just stay on Earth and let the Lupari guard you as well? Obviously, they didn't know that you were there, and they're so busy, defending the Earth against the Flux. Just park yourselves on Earth, tell the Daleks and Cybermen to come there, the Lupari won't let them in, and then the Flux will come by and snatch them all up. Because it still has to take Earth.
Yeah, so the
seriously, that really pisses me off, because they're like, oh, it's time for the final Flux event, and that's going to be in Atropos. It's like, Earth is still there. Other planets are still there. You're not done yet.
The final Flux event was not going to start on Atropos, no.
I just want to say... I just want to say I fresh Twitter really quick here, and you know how I was mentioning hyperfixation?
Yeah.
Where Krista was on the roundtable Weird Flux, but okay. Krista just announced that she's taking over the administration of hyperfixation effective later this week.
Wow.
On Twitter, like, no fucking joke.
Now that is a flex.
This is what it has come to, Krista.
Weird
now
Flux,
we are...
but okay. So now
we are rivals in podcasts. You know what this means, right?
I don't think they podcast. They write articles. So.
Either way, you know what this means? We're gonna have to promote her harder to get her to turn over to our side.
So now you're digging me, being like, oh, you're promoting another thing. It's part of the Back to the 11th Hour meme. Read Hyperfixation, available now on the internet.
Oh God.
You fuckers! I gotcha.
Frez, go flux yourself.
We do get a scene that again could be something between the Doctor and Carvanista. So firstly, the whole promised showdown between Carvanista and Bell and the Sontarans doesn't really happen. They show up, there's an exchange of gunfire, and then one of the Doctor splinters turns up and rams their ship into the Sontaran spacecraft. You know how Carvanista did it to destroy the Sontarans back in Chapter 2. Only this time there's a shield.
Wow, they actually learned.
So, yeah, again, people say, well, why didn't they use a shield in Episode 2? Well, I can hand wave this again before I get carpal tunnel syndrome. That lot of Sontarans that were destroyed didn't think to have the shield or were too arrogant to have the shield. The next lot there are specific to avenge the previous lot. So they built the shield into the plan. There you go.
Or we could just say that before they didn't realize that this was an option, and now they figured out, oh yeah, people can do that. Let's stop them from doing it.
But the commander basically says, do you think I want people crashing into my ship?
Yeah, exactly. They learned from their mistakes.
I guess. So they're taken prisoner.
No, I guess. It's the one that makes the most
sense. They're taken prisoner. Carvanista and Doctor are taken prisoner. Bell escapes. Because they distract the Sontaran so she can slip away.
I would have been so pissed if anything happened to Bell.
I mean, it was on the table.
I mean, let's be fair. Bell and Vinder, nothing. There's no reason for them to be there. It's stupid. However, just from the fact that, Bell is pregnant and there, and it's like, I don't want anything bad to happen to her.
And we do get a nice scene between the Doctor and Carvanista in the jail cell. Also, hey, remember Class? Because Chris Chibnall does.
What?
I don't.
Wait
You
a
watch
minute.
Class?
Yeah,
was a
so
Class reference in
Carvanista
this?
is being asked by the Doctor about their past in Division. He's like, I can't talk about it. What, you mean you won't? No, I literally can't talk about it, because if I talk about it, there's an implant in my brain that will inject the poison in me, and I'll be dead in 3 seconds.
I was fucking right, motherfuckers. Suck it.
In Class...
Suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it.
In Class, and I forget the name of the character, but it's the one that's impersonating the teacher.
Well,
Fuck,
Quill,
I know,
yeah.
I never watched it.
Quill has an alien parasite in her eyeball that will kill her if she goes against Charlie.
I see.
So, a little bit. I just want to mention, I don't know if we can jump ahead to the whole, haha, your people are dead thing. Because, there's something there that I didn't mention beforehand, that an uncomfortable reminder, shall we say. It's the scene where Carvanista swears revenge on the Suntarans, and then, what does he do as they leave?
He howls.
Sadly a woos. That reminded me of a little movie that came out a couple years back. It was called Star Trek Into Darkness.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I read what you wrote, so I know where this is going.
There's a certain scene in that movie that parallels a rather infamous, tragic scene from the movie Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, in which a major character is killed. And then Zachary Quinto's Spock looks up in sadness and disbelief, but then anger, and then the movie completely blows any tragedy or pathos that it has built up by immediately shotgunning in another reference to Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, in which it has Zachary Quinto yell angrily, "God!" at this death, like the time William Shatner yelled, "God!" in that movie.
Only
And
10,000 times worse because it's Spock doing it, and Spock is not supposed to show any emotion because he's trying to be a good Vulcan and not show off his human half.
Well, he's happy. He has his faults, but
I know, but he like tries to stay to the Vulcan mindset and not show too much emotion. So they kind of do like this muted half scream, and it's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So your argument is they can't completely go for it because he's half Vulcan. So what you get is just not effective at all, and actually takes you out of the fucking moment.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the fact that they reuse the scream. I'm not a fan of the fact that they switch the two characters and what happens to them. I'm not a fan of the triples thing, and I'm not a fan of the fact that they had Spock, who is half Vulcan, yell out in passionate anger.
I'm not a fan of the fucking movie. It sucks.
Agreed.
But I mean, seeing your thing is dead, and then sadly a woo, it just kind of took me out of the moment in that same fucking way. It's like, dear God, what are you fucking doing?
There's also
It's a genocide, and you do a sadly a woo. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know, but there's also a parallel, there's a comparison that Chibnall fails to make. Do you remember last week when Ted was like, you use your companions like experiments, like I used you as an experiment?
Oh, yeah, I think I.
There is something here. Well, I did take this from your blog, I admit, but
No, it's fine. Go for it. Wow, I'm honored that you were inspired enough by my dumb rambling to pick it up yourself on the podcast. Go ahead.
Well, basically, you could use this as proof that Tetsuya was sort of right, because she abandoned Carvanista.
You could do that if you were going to sincerely needle the Doctor on that.
But we don't.
And if you were going to do that, you could even further then redeem the Doctor by proving her point right, by having her do something else good and saving Carvanista or something. I don't know.
All we get about that is that there was a time when I was very close to you, and then you abandoned me, and that's all you get.
And also, if I may complain about the pile of narrative contrivance dust on the desk for just 1 second, Carvanista having an implant rather than that suppresses him talking about the division rather than, mind wiping him of all the Black Ops shit like they've seemed to have done with nearly every other operative, at least the Doctor that we know of. And it does reek of, because it has to happen for the sake of the plot. Because then the Doctor can't find Carvanista and be like, I need to ask you about the division and kick off the plot to begin with. So that is why that happens, because the plot needs it. If
Well,
I
I
may
mean,
delve into that.
isn't Carvanista still technically a division member?
I don't think so.
I think it's implied he left.
He left, which again raises so many fucking questions about the division.
Yeah.
And I've been making these comparisons all fucking week, but like the Silence arc, its little implications fascinate me, where it says just enough when you go back and rewatch it that all the little things that it doesn't say make you go ooh, and make you a proper conspiracy theorist, connecting it and being all Pepe Sylvia. The Division, there's a whole lot of nothing, so you just have to headcanon the entire fucking thing on your own.
No, yeah, there's a whole lot of questions that I have now just because of that. Because I thought he was still part of the division, and so that might be a reason why he wouldn't be allowed to tell the Doctor anything. But if he left the division, there's no reason for him to still have his memories of it.
What did the Division do? How did people leave the Division? If the Division is mind wiping people so they don't remember the Black Ops shit they did, then how are people remembering the Division? How come there's no Division people left aside from Tech Tayun and Carvanista running around out there? If they were the most powerful force in the universe, what happened to their decay?
Is it possible? Is it possible that Tecteun, because we now know that Tecteun was the head of Division, she was the mastermind behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that because the Doctor was her surrogate child, she chose to mind wipe her, but then all the other operatives that leave get the Carvanista treatment?
It's possible, but again, it's that thing that I'm saying, where instead of connecting what isn't said, you're just left with a whole bunch of thread to connect nothing to nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, here's another question that I have. We just got introduced to an entire division of Weeping Angels who were part of Division. What's going to happen to them now that Tecteun is gone? Are they just going to go wild? Or are they still around?
I don't think Chibnall's even considered it.
What about like other sections of Division that we don't know about yet? I mean, there's nothing to say that Division is completely gone. It's just that Tecteun's gone.
Yeah, well, maybe without a leader, it falls into disrepair.
Let's be fair. This is a big organization that basically tries to control the entire universe and make it follow its own path. Someone's going to take over.
And we're never going to hear from it again.
No, but I mean, there's so much left unsaid that I honestly feel bad for any Division conspiracy theorists that crop up who are really inspired by the concepts of the Flux storyline and Chibnall's era in general, because it's like, you got a whole lot of fucking legwork to do to make any sense of this.
One last point about Carvanista, which kind of undermines any emotion that it might have had. So he's found out that all of his people are gone. They've been vented into space by the Sontarans. Dan gets him out of the cage.
That is horrifying.
It's terrible. Dan gets him out of the cage, fulfilling the prophecy of fetch your dog.
Also, I just want to say beforehand, I'm going to make a loaded claim here, and it sounds awful, but it's technically what happens in the episode. Chibnall killed 7 billion dogs off screen.
6,900,000.
We are so sorry to the website Does the Dog Die? You're going to have a rather sinister entry.
Yeah, it's true. What was I going to say? Yeah, and the next time we see Carvanista, he's just sat on the TARDIS moping, and all we get is, what's wrong with him? Sontaran's killed his entire species. Wow! One line of dialogue. One single line of dialogue. Not how, I'm sorry for your loss. I mean, in fairness, the Doctor does say, I'm so sorry, Carvanista, to him. In the jail cell.
Dan and him are connected. They could have shown, like, their burgeoning friendship by Dan going over there and, I don't know, scritching him behind his ear or something.
Yeah, I guess. That may not be appropriate, but good God. Anyway, in between...
Hang on. I got some memeing. I got some memeing for you.
Oh, boy.
Carvanista, after escaping the ship...
Oh God, I forgot that happened.
It's kind of weird. She'd like turned into an egg all of a sudden.
Cat.
What?
This is bad enough, not about bringing up the moon's an egg. Anyway, as I
So
was
I
trying
had
to
an
say,
idea. I had an idea that I wanted to run past you guys. Once we get
Uh-huh.
into the Grand Serpent, by the way.
well, we're about to get to him. So,
Yeah.
what's your idea?
Well, my idea is obviously we don't really care for the unit stuff, right?
What unit stuff?
What unit stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But here's a better idea that they could have done with the Grand Serpent.
Mm-hmm.
He starts to infiltrate Division and tries to get to the top.
Hey,
Yeah, I
mean,
like that.
see, this is good. I mean, again, it does what I was saying last week, where you were saying they could have paralleled the Grand Serpent's rise of unit with the Division being the meddling organization. But I mean, that would further the parallel. You know, that would actually say something about something. But
Plus, we would actually be able to get a look into Division and what it's all about. But instead we just get Suntarans and Grand Serpent and
He does get a good scene though where he's torturing the Doctor.
well, it's a good scene for the Doctor. So, which
Yeah.
you wouldn't normally say, considering you just said it's a scene where the Grand Serpent tortures the Doctor. But Jodie is on fucking fire here. She's just having none of it and completely taking the piss out of this guy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Too bad it doesn't last for long enough.
It doesn't, but
And also, why couldn't you do this too? No space Amazon.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's almost over. Chibnall's almost gone.
Yeah. 3 episodes to go. I know. Keep rocking back and forth and just chanting that, and it'll eventually prove to be true.
Can't sleep. Laurel, eat me. Can't sleep. Laurel, eat me.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the Doctor just completely takes the piss out of the Grand Serpent in the scene, and I love it.
I do like
love
it
it.
as well, and we get a bit of explanation as to who he is. He's a rare binary demi-species, so he's got 2 pulses. As soon as she said 2 pulses, I thought, oh god, if this turns out to be the goddamn Master, I will flip a table. It wasn't.
Thank God.
It categorically wasn't.
Thank God.
This
He
was
has
not a
some
Time
sense.
Lord. This was not a Time Lord. This was his own beast. And it turns out that the snakes that he keeps conjuring, we were kind of right. They are part of him.
Yeah, okay.
So that the human form and the beast form share an existence, I guess, from what the Doctor says. And then that snake form tries to come out of Jodie's mouth like it's come out of the mouth of other victims, only he's made a mistake because she's not really all there.
Oopsie doopsie.
So the snake can't get a lock on, so you just see the snake sort of squealing and sort of fading out of existence, like Jodie sometimes fades out of existence. And then the TARDIS emerges, and another Doctor turns up and stops the Grand Serpent.
Hey! Technically, I mean, the Grand Serpent is stopped at the end of this episode, but it's not by the Doctor, but also, it's a definitive stop that is kind of satisfying, so I'm not
I am
really
okay
as
with
mad
the
as
Grand
I would.
Serpent's eventual fate.
Yeah.
And who gets
But
to
also,
deliver it.
we should talk a bit more about the Grand Serpent, that for whatever fucking reason, I guess, again, because the plot needs it to happen, he's oddly fixated on getting revenge on Kate.
Why?
I don't know what revenge he could possibly have. She didn't do anything to him.
She
Except not die.
She was mean to him in an office, and then she didn't blow up when he put a bomb in her house.
She defied him, I guess, is the logic here.
But also, that doesn't make any fucking sense either, because going back to his fate, when Vinder shows up, he's like, I have no idea who the fuck you are. Why are you pointing a gun at me? I don't remember you. He doesn't remember the fucking underlings and people, is the idea here. He's like, it's kind of like the Raul Julia thing. Oh, for you, the day I ruined your life was the most important. For me, it was a Tuesday.
I was going to say that.
It's kind of like that with Vinder and the Grand Serpent, but with Kate, it's like, Kate Stewart defied me. I will have her head.
Yeah, he actually leaves the Sontaran's ship to go and get her.
And, like, those two takes don't fucking gel with each other.
No, they don't.
No.
It's like he's 2 different characters.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like we're supposed to get the idea that he's this, genius schemer who's able to manipulate people, and whenever he can't manipulate them, he disposes of them in a way that, gets them away from the scene. And it's just Kate is smart enough to look beyond the doctored, records and the falsified reports, and is able to see that he is the true mastermind.
I mean,
and then we have these petty scenes where it's like, I want Kate to do it now!
If you had a scene where Kate exposed his identity to the world, then you've got a reason for him to kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it.
Or there were actual scenes of her resistance actually being, resistant to him.
Hell, even you could fix the contradiction by, having him know who Vinder was.
Yeah.
Oh, that guard who ratted me out.
Oh, and one other thing, that, by the way, that whole interesting premise of the Grand Serpent sending people back in time to stop Yaz and Dan, never once mentioned.
God almighty.
Hey, actually, yeah, here's a question. The Grand Serpent just likes to kill people when they get in his way. Why didn't he kill Vinder? Why was Vinder just sent away?
I think Vinder was just sent away, is the implication.
Because the plot demands it.
Because the plot demanded.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason. That's the only reason that Vinder survived meeting the Grand Serpent.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole, you can't fight the future thing, that's not resolved. And probably never will be unless it's in the specials.
You're getting into dangerous territory that we talked about in the
I know.
And we'll talk about later on
the show.
More
annoyingly, the unit hostile takeover is not referenced again.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's not like other showrunners have done this. Hey, Rain, remember when Unit got taken over by Harmony Shoal?
Yeah, true.
No.
But that was one soldier.
Mm.
That was one soldier to escape being apprehended. They didn't
Remember
use it
when Unit got taken down by Brexit?
Oh, there was a lot of fucking bullshit after Survivors aired, where people were gloating, like, "Ha! You thought that was a bad joke, but Chibnall was setting up to destroy Unit so that he could bring it back in his grand master plan."
No, he wasn't.
You look like an idiot. And it's like, no.
No.
But again, this is another thing that annoys me so much about the end of Flux. There are some really good ideas here. They are. Objectively, there are some really good ideas here, and they're just not explored upon.
I do kind of like the Grand Serpent's ultimate fate, where Vinder and Kate hold him at gunpoint down in the Williamson tunnels and shove him through a door, and the door just leads to a fucking lifeless rock in space, and they blast the door behind him so they trap him there for eternity.
I did think he was going in the volcano.
Yeah.
Because they showed a volcano in front of one of the doors, and I thought, okay, that's a Chekhov's gun.
I guess there's some comeuppance there, unless he escapes and does some shit
all he has to do is just wait for a ship to come by and they'll pick him up.
That's the last time we see the
he's a
Grand
survivor.
Serpent. He's not coming back.
He's probably not coming back, but
I know, but it's still a really lame way to get rid of him.
But I do like I will give his
There's a little
eventual comeuppance a pass, because he got a comeuppance.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
okay,
I still think they should have just shot him.
The Doctor didn't directly cause it, but who does bring it about? The person he wronged.
Yeah.
Vinder. And Kate's here too, but Vinder in particular.
Look at Revolution of the Daleks and Jack Robinson getting off scot-free for a second time. Look into that in comparison. The Grand Serpent getting this is pretty fucking cathartic.
He's learned. It still sucks, but he's learned.
Mood.
I don't know, it's just not satisfying to me because he's just left there, and there's always that chance that someone could come by and pick him up, and then he'll be back to the whole thing. But like you guys said, he probably won't reappear again because, nobody's going to give a shit.
He's another one of these interesting concepts that's just going to be dropped on the floor.
And it's like, that's super annoying to me because at the very least, have him start to choke Vinder out and then Vinder shoots him in self-defense. At least.
It's not that type of show, though. The only one that could...
May I remind you of what the Doctor decides to do about the whole Sontaran plot.
True.
May I also remind you of what happened to the Lopari off screen?
True. But that was off screen.
May I also remind you, racism.
But that was off screen. But anyway.
The racism wasn't off screen.
No, the Lupari being killed.
That's the way you said it. May I also remind you, racism off screen.
Yeah, I that was badly timed by me. But
No, I was more alluding to Rosa and the whole,
I know.
space alien.
The only one we might come back to, given what the revelations in the end for the Doctor, is you can't fight the future. We might come back to that broadly. The idea that you can't outrun your fate.
I mean, it's Doctor fucking Who.
But the fact that you've got hostile unit just completely left on the cutting room floor saddens me. Because you could do a lot with that.
You could. Yeah, we could.
It saddens me that Kate Stewart's rebellion is more fleshed out, because that could have been interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's another big Finish audio waiting to happen.
You were saying, Rain. You were saying last week you were comparing to Martha last of the time.
Yeah.
There you go. Do something like that with Kate.
Yeah, and that's got its own big Finish as well, and it's by all accounts it's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Martha's Quest. Sorry, the Year of Martha Jones. The Year of Martha Jones. Martha's Quest is the name of the Murray musical track that accompanies that whole bit. So, we have mentioned the Grand Serpent's fate, a little out of the running order that we were going to go for, but I'm fine with it, because...
Who cares?
Yeah, it gets us a little bit closer to the end. So let's talk about the characters that lead to this eventual fate, Bel and Vinder, and what they're doing.
Hugging.
Yeah, because they're finally reunited. But firstly, we get some scenes with Vinder and Diane inside Passenger.
Yeah.
And again, another one of those interesting concepts just dropped on the floor, never to be picked up again. So there's an entire alien landscape inside Passenger. Or this particular Passenger anyway. And Diane, because she's been here for a while, has apparently figured out how to disrupt it, how to fire a gun, and she's also been left behind. Now, people were like, why has she been left behind? Well, she was left behind because she was a bargaining chip for the Doctor and Dan to not pursue Swarm and Azure.
Yeah, here's the thing though, they don't need her anymore.
Nope, they do not need her. But the plot demands that she's there. So she's there.
Yep.
I'm sorry to keep going back to the plot demands it, but that really is it.
Yeah.
And here's a bit of writer's got to eat. They get out of the Passenger and then get put back in it.
And then
well,
the Doctor
at the very
saves them from
least,
the Passenger.
Vinder's able to call the Doctor, so there's that.
Yeah, true. He gets out to communicate with the Doctor, and then the Passenger gets him again. But eventually the Doctor does get the TARDIS inside the Passenger, and they manage to get Diane...
To the TARDIS's chagrin.
Yes. The TARDIS isn't very happy about it, but they get Diane and Vinder out, and there's an emotional double reunion between Vinder and Bel and Dan and Diane. It leads to some bullshit at the end.
Hey, Rain, speaking of the TARDIS not being happy about it, remember when the TARDIS was getting all fucked up?
Well, we are gonna come back to that, I think, in the New Year's Day episode.
Yeah, it's another... Yeah, but... Okay, that's another thing that I'm putting on the table here for later. So...
But at least that was on a poster, kind of hinting it's there.
Okay.
I kind of knew that one was coming. But yes, you're absolutely right. But they're reunited, and so you've got Diane, Dan, Yaz, the Doctor, Jericho Claire, Bel and Vinder, and Carvanista. And they're going to try and stop the Sontarans.
And Knuckles.
And Wina Makata as the hopping woman.
And Salad Guy.
Rest in peace, Salad Man.
R.I.P. and pepperonis, but not
So-
really because you enjoy salad.
God. So, that's the team, and they've all got like individual tasks that the Doctor assigns them. You just know that not all of them are getting out of this alive.
Oh boy.
And I thought
Well,
Carvanista.
let's be fair. Almost all of them turned out this alive except for one.
Yeah. I
and it
thought
was
this.
the worst pick you could possibly
I thought
do.
this would be Carvanista, as I predicted. When he said, I'm going to kill every last Sontaran, I thought, well, there we go, then he's going to take them down and himself. He takes them down, but not himself.
I think I in my little angry rant last time said that. Oh well, we'll have Carvanista defeat the Flux instead of having the Doctor do it, which no, didn't happen.
Here's the thing: the Doctor doesn't defeat the Flux.
Well, the Doctor's the one who puts the plan in place.
The freaking Sontarans defeat the Flux.
Well, I mean, the Doctor is being a bit more proactive than usual. Like, it's not just, hello, I'm going to come here and push the button for you. Ha!
Yes.
Run, Doctor! I'll save the day. I'm the hero.
The Doctors are getting something to do, at least.
Yeah.
I don't agree with what they're getting to do, but they're getting something to do.
Yep.
And then
this-
flirt with each other.
This is all the build-up to what is referred to as the ultimate betrayal.
Oh, you mean what, Doctor Who Flux?
Jeez. No, I'm referring to the
Hiring Chris Chibnall
Sontarans.
as the writer.
I'm referring to the Sontarans. The Sontarans, the potato aliens who we've got to take seriously, being the ones to outthink, outmaneuver, outstrategize the Daleks and the Cybermen.
Not their plan.
Take them
Not that
serious. This is like a. Oh, I know. This is like this is a trope that a lot of people who watch Star Trek Next Generation point out, where a lot of episodes they'll have an alien show up, and to prove that the alien is something to be taken seriously, they'll have Worf try to get at the alien, and the alien will fucking take out Worf in a second. Ooh, but Worf's the strongest one on the ship, a Klingon. Oh, if this alien could take out Worf in one hit, he must be really powerful, guys.
Now
Ooh.
that's racism.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too, yeah, but also, you know. It's that same sort of thing. Oh, if we have the Sontarans take out the Daleks and the Cybermen, then you'll have to take them seriously.
And their whole plan is that they're going to stop the reason why they predicted the Flux. They're going to feed the Daleks and the Cybermen to the Flux to snuff it out, and they're going to be hailed as the saviors of time.
Look at us.
Sorry, the saviors of the universe.
Which
I will say one thing. Just because of the way that the plan goes, it don't work.
No.
They would have been screwed either way.
But you said that the Vanquishers didn't refer to anyone. It actually specifically refers to the Sontarans.
No, it fucking doesn't. Shut up.
I just had the most horrible fucking connection hit my mind.
Oh no.
Do tell.
Rain, what did you say the Sontarans want to do?
They want to save the universe.
They want to save the universe and be praised as saviors by manipulating a catastrophe. Who does that remind you of?
Do you remember 2010 when the show was good?
No, I'm not thinking that. No, I'm thinking of a little other something. I'm getting the photographic proof here.
I'm trying to think of what it is before he puts it up, but I can't.
Thinking of another person.
I haven't got a clue. Oh no!
Nope. No.
Look what you've done. Look what you've done.
Alright, never mind. I'm back. He's still threatening to show me the Survivors of the Flux.
I am not. This is slander.
I hate you. I hate you both.
This is lies and slander.
I hate you all right now.
There we go.
Okay. Well, as you pointed out, it goes wrong. Does it ever go wrong? But, my God, the Daleks are not stupid. The Cybermen are not especially stupid. I mean, they are instinctually robots. So I suppose I could buy the Cybermen falling for this, except that they are, supposed to be strategic military machines.
I mean, Chibnall, you love the fucking Cybermen so much. You should know this.
But the Sontarans come along and go, let us shelter from the cataclysm behind the Lipari shield. We promise nothing will happen to you. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And they accept it.
You know what would be more realistic if the dogs came in and said, "We accept your surrender," and then start shooting at the Sontarans, and then the Cybermen come in.
We accept
and
your
it's this big
extermination.
battle.
Yeah. Not surrender.
You know, there's like this big battle, and just.
Well, that was what they hinted
Well-
at episode 3, and then it didn't happen.
No, instead we just have, "We accept your proposal in order to save our lives." Oh no, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Also, people pointed out that maybe the Dalek scenes were cribbed from Revolution of the Daleks, and just the dialogue changed.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because they're on the screen for what? 2 scenes? 2
If
shots? If that?
Honestly, I saw more of the Daleks in the Next Time trailer than I saw in the actual episode.
But the Sontarans, like, are reveling in what they've done, and like the shield's out of position. Sontarans, what's going on? He's like, oh, it's not out of position. It's just out of position for you and not for us. We're going to feed you to the flocks, boys. But they've not counted on Team TARDIS. Because Claire and Jericho have beamed on board a Sontaran cruiser to do something clever. Bell and Vinda have now got spaceships of their own. I think they Lupari craft? Yes, they are, because Bell knocks 2 Sontarans out with a freaking iron pipe.
Damn.
Go, girl. And Carvanista gets control of his ship again, with help from the Doctor. And they manoeuvre the shield, so now the Sontarans are also left outside of it.
Womp womp.
Oops.
Yay, genocide of 3 different races.
The 3 biggest alien nemesis of the Doctor wiped out in a second.
Whoops.
And they imply it's every single one of them that's left. Yeah, I know.
Hey, you know an episode that aired in 2008 called The Doctor's Daughter, where David Tennant said that he never would? Hey, Chibnall, I thought you were trying to make us remember 2008 when the show was good. What's this?
I mean, a lot of people had a criticism of I never would.
Oh yeah, I mean the point. Yeah, there's a lot of hypocritical action from David Tennant and that, but I mean,
He's trying to make us remember that era, but specifically the Time Lord Victorious part of it all.
But remember how I said that there was going to be a casualty? Well, here's your casualty. Because
Fucking Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho. So they've got like these sort of I don't know, teleport rings.
Yeah.
And that's how they get on board the ship. And they're, right, the Sontarans are coming. Let's get to the teleport rings. You go first, Miss Brown, because of course Jericho lets her go first because he's a gentleman. But as she gets
he
through
shoots
it,
the door to try and stop any Sontarans from getting in as well.
yeah, unfortunately, a Sontaran stray shot hits the ring and fries it, and Jericho knows he's doomed.
Woo.
But I will give all the credit in the world to Kevin McNally and actually a little bit to Chris Chibnall, although I'm sorry that they had to kill the character off. He does get a fantastic send-off. He gets a noble sacrifice.
and I mean, Chibnall is improving in some ways. With a diverse cast having to kill one person, he chooses to kill one of the old white guys.
Oh, stop. We are not boiling down Jericho to an old white guy. He was so much more than that.
He's a very good old white guy.
And he does say,
I never thought I would say this, but couldn't you have killed the dog?
Jesus. I mean, he already killed 7 billion of them off screen.
What's one more?
What's
then?
another one? Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Chip.
There are 4 different genocides in this one episode.
To quote Davros, genocide in a moment.
Wow.
3 genocides in one moment, in fact.
That's a lot of
Actually,
shit.
I'm wondering if technically you could say there are 5 because Tectonian is also technically a Time Lord.
No, because
Well-
the Doctor is around and the Master is around, so that's not genocide.
Well,
Yeah,
then.
but so is Carvanista,
Carvanista.
and that's still a
Yeah, all right.
genocide.
Well, even so, yeah. Well,
But he the doctor's like, I can't. There's no way to get you out. He says, so try and find an escape point. He's like, I don't think that's going to happen, Doctor. And he says something like, I've lived more in the last 20 years than I have the rest of my entire life, so thank you. And then the Sontaran comes through and is like, you will now be executed. And Jericho gets a great line and says, I'm sorry, I really don't think you're going to have time for that.
And then he gets dissolved.
And the Sontaran gets absolutely devoured by the Flux. And Jericho's final... Oh, there's also a thing about his autobiography title he never got to write.
Dang.
It's a, who are you, human scum? He says, my name is Professor Eustachius Jericho. And he calls himself something like Scourge of Scoundrels. A great title for an autobiography I never got to write.
You know what would have helped my idea of the title? If he had said that he was the vanquisher of the Sontarans.
Yeah,
Hey!
that would have been a nice parallel. And his final lines, I believe, are quoting Winnie the Pooh, of all things.
Aw.
What an awfully big adventure.
see, that sounds like the kind of line Moffat would put in someone's final line.
I'm sorry they killed him off, but he goes out in the right way.
Yeah. Unlike a certain other pair of characters.
Oh my god.
Would you like to talk about that, Rainiac?
Oh, I've been holding this back. It's time for me to vent, kids.
I saw you vent. I saw you vent in electrical.
Goddamn Mike with his leap of faith.
Rain, I have a gut feeling that you weren't happy about this part of the story.
And you will be right. It's ejected out of the airlock immediately. Was the imposter? You win.
Ejected from the game for memeing.
I tried not to get ejected from the game for memeing this time. It still happened. Only it was somebody else's memeing. But yeah, so the Flux. We find out that the Flux is antimatter.
Which is really rather
Complete bullshit.
This is kind of reductive when you think about it. Like the Flux should be this gonzo, strange, destructive force, but instead, it's just antimatter.
Yeah, but antimatter and matter do not do what the Flux is doing to it.
Yeah, isn't it supposed to explode or something when the two meet?
It annihilates, yes.
We watched the Three Doctors. We've seen this happen.
The 66 Batman movie has a better grasp of antimatter than Chris Chibnall.
Oh my god. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Some days you just can't get rid of Chris Chibnall.
And anyway,
I'm going to still try.
after the Flux has taken out the Daleks and the Cybermen and the Sontarans, but somehow not getting through the Lupari shield, not eating the Lupari shield, I guess because it was designed to withstand what the Flux could throw at it per episode 1. Okay, fair enough. He put that in there. They get rid of the rest of it by feeding it inside Passenger. They put Passenger in the way and open it up, and because it's like infinite matter and the Flux, they'll cancel each other out. You know, what she calls it? Mutually assured extinction. Only that's not what happens. The Passenger is clearly fine. The Flux is gone. The Flux is extinguished, but the Passenger is fine. Just floating in space.
Who the fuck even knows?
So firstly, there's something there for somebody to maybe use against the Doctor in the future. But also, as I say, it just completely ignores what antimatter is. And also, do you know how the Ood said, I can't do anything about the Flux Doctor? The Ood did something about the Flux Doctor.
God.
The Ood slowed it down. The Ood somehow made it weaker. And again, Swarm and Azure, idiots that they are, just let him do it.
I'm sorry. I have so many questions about this. How is the Ood able to slow down the Flux if the Flux is just antimatter? That's not possible. You can't have
Because the
control over
plot
something
demands
like that.
it.
How in the world do Swarm and Azure have control over the Flux? What exactly is it? Is it able to, is it something that Time made? Is it just something that, how did the Division find this stuff and make it? I just,
I I think they do explain. They try to explain what's saying that because it was made outside of the universe in Division, it doesn't follow the rules of our universe, and that's how it can destroy matter.
Yeah, but that still doesn't make sense because they still just boil it down to antimatter, and that's not what it is.
No, not at all. But it does lead to this little nugget for Swarm and Azure. Their ultimate reward. So they think they've won because they didn't think to check outside. Seriously, that's what it boils down to. If they checked, this wouldn't have happened to them.
God.
If they installed one goddamn window in that entire ship.
Well, can't
Then this
Division see
plot
out
would've
into
worked.
multiple universes? They were in Division. Just look out into the universe, guys.
Just look at the screen and see what the flux is doing.
Look upon my work and find it is not finished. But anyway, they return with the Doctor as a prisoner to Atropos. And they're like triumphant, thinking, we've done it, we've freed Time. And Time puts in an appearance. And this purple stuff swirls around to form Swarm. Now, I don't mind this, because, Time being a deity is taking the shape, the form of Swarm. I'm okay with this.
I'm not.
I'm not okay with what comes after.
Oh boy.
And since
So
Fresno
I have
got
an
to...
idea for this moment that I want to just roll past you guys. Because once again, I turn out to be a better writer than the person who's being paid to write for Doctor Who. Here's an idea. Would you have found it interesting if Time had formed into Tecteun and it turns out that Time itself was the leader of the Division
Yes.
and made the Doctor?
The second part, no.
No.
Because they were back to the Doctor, the most important creature in the entire universe.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I mean, at least that way it would have put in some more of the Timeless Child stuff, and it makes sense why she is the Timeless Child and is immortal.
Time secretly
Rather
being
than
behind
her
the
just
Vision
being
would
from
be
an
a
alternate
clever
universe.
twist.
Yeah.
But no, we get this instead. So, Time's there and it's like, what's the meaning of this, my servants? Why have you come to me having failed? We haven't failed. The flux doesn't extinguish, you morons.
I do not tolerate failure. You shall be punished.
Oh, no, it gets before that. He says, what have you got to offer me? He says, we still have the Timeless Child, the first of the Time Lords. She is yours to do what you wish as a sacrifice. And Time just says, and how shall I reward your failure, my servants? And they get destroyed.
Bye.
We've
They're
built them
dead.
up for 6 hours, and they just get unceremoniously reduced to dust. Well, not even reduced to dust. They just get purple swirled to oblivion.
This is why I think that Time being Tecteun the whole time would make a lot more sense, because obviously Tecteun seems to have some sort of feelings for the Doctor. So at the very least, it makes sense why he, Time would immediately go after the Ravagers and not the Doctor.
Yeah, true. And this again is one of the Digimon.
It's not perfect, but it's better than the shit we were given.
True. This is why the Digimon comparison is so apt, because spoiler alert, those two Digimon got destroyed by the person they were trying to serve as well.
Yeah.
So as I do like the fact that they got different reactions to being destroyed. Like Swarm is screaming in agony while Azure is actually quite excited about it and she's ascending. That's neat, I guess, but no, I can't defend this. You've built these people up to be this great force, can destroy can release Time, can destroy the Guardians of Time themselves, can destroy the first Time Lord. The first Time Lord. Tecteun. So completely that she doesn't regenerate. Can get into Division, can do all of this terrible stuff to the universes. And then you have them taken out by Time in about 5 seconds.
Well, I'm going to signpost what I'm going to be complaining about in our next segment, but I will say, Rain, of course they were taken up like that. Chibnall got what he wanted. He got you watching to see what they would do for 5 episodes.
Yeah. the only reason this is better than a shard, what happens to a shard, or the Master, in Series 12, is because the Doctor is kind of responsible for this. She doesn't kill them,
But she did.
it's
help
her
some
messing
of
with the
them.
plan that leads to their comeuppance.
I guess, but it still is, kind of.
I mean, considering that the passenger is still there, all they had to do was just go back and release it again. But who cares?
And
They're dead.
yeah,
It's not done with the Doctor yet.
and then it gets worse. Now, I like the idea that Time addresses the Doctor as a dark version of herself.
Dark coat from Once Upon a Time.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not gonna ask for the button to be hit.
No, I don't want it wouldn't be hit either.
This episode does not deserve.
It does not. Flux doesn't deserve this, for crying out loud. But anyway, yeah. So the Doctor's like, "Is it my turn now? Am I to be destroyed along with them?" No, Doctor. I'm not going to do a thing to you yet. And it's here that we find out that Chris Chibnall remembers the end of time.
Remember 2009 when the show was good?
I do.
Oh, hey, my job's ending soon, so I'm just gonna leave you with all this shit. So bye.
Well, we're not getting to. I don't think we're getting to that just yet.
But yeah, so the whole point of Time showing up was to get rid of our two main antagonists and tease for the future.
But of course.
So it's a Deus Ex Machina and a prophecy all in one. Wonderful.
And it makes no sense because, I mean, just why isn't Time destroying her this stupid?
Because Time doesn't have to destroy her. It's prophesized that her time is coming to an end. Therefore,
It's not prophesized. Time could just see that
All right.
what's going to happen.
Time
in the
says your
future.
time is coming to an end soon. So Time doesn't need to do anything, or perhaps can't do anything because of fixed point.
Oh, I just had a really fucking good idea for this shit.
Give
Four
it.
words that have been said in the series over and over. Time can be rewritten.
Yeah.
What if time doesn't want to be rewritten?
There you go. There's your.
There's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And again, it's a bit weird having Time be a sort of a sentient entity now, but you could do so much with that.
Yeah.
But all we get is teasing for the future. But
Yeah.
I'm
You could go
holding
full
back.
Marvel with this and have there be like a death entity and so forth.
What we get is he will knock 4 times. Only we don't get that because Chibnall can't write anything as catchy as that. Instead, we get a line that I couldn't actually hear the first time I watched it because the audio was so bad.
I didn't hear it either, to be fair.
Beware the forces that mass against you and their master.
Oh, wow. Remember 2009 when the show was good?
I caught the master bit straight away because it was about as subtle as a brick to the head. So yeah, the master is going to be back in the final episode and he will be the reason why she regenerates.
You know, the Master's been responsible for, like, what, half the fucking regeneration?
I am fine with that. I am fine with the master coming back. I've heard a lot of people like, oh, the master again, groan.
I mean, if
But
he's
this
in a
is
good
so-
story...
This is just so... The whole hook to a 6-chapter story is to lead into another episode.
Yep.
This is
That's the whole point!
Yeah, I'm not getting mad yet because I'm saving mine for the next little thing. Yeah, but that is some bullshit. But it is in the end, I think, emblematic of Chibnall. We should have seen it fucking coming. I mean, even back in Halloween Apocalypse, I was saying, well, you know, Chibnall's got all these hooks in the air, and he really can't do. He really is the master of passing the buck along to his future self and be like, okay, I'll resolve things later. So why would we think that the series finale would resolve shit when there's still 3 more episodes for him to go, okay, maybe later, okay, maybe later, okay, maybe later.
Because the rest of the Flux season was good up until Survivors.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
This just
Also,
makes me.
may I just say, I have the full quote of what Time says to the Doctor here. It says, "You could leave here, but you can't outrun me. Your time is heading to its end. Nothing is forever. No regeneration, no life. Beware of the forces that mass against you and their master. I restore you, Doctor, reunify you, but for how long?" 2 words, timeless child.
Yeah.
Oh god, timeless child. Yeah.
I think that's where
The-
we're
the whole
going, isn't
point-
it?
The whole point is that she's supposed to be forever, apparently.
Yeah.
Not this specific incarnation of the Doctor, but just the Doctor.
Also, hold that thought, because there's something else we'll get to in a few minutes
Yeah, we're getting. Yeah, I'm saving for this.
that
because
also
this is
makes me angry.
Because we've already established that like you say, Chibnall is passing on resolving anything for himself. But if you need a preview of what sort of resolution we might get to this plotline, well, we need look no further than the end of this episode.
And before that, we get a little wrap up with our with the companions and what happens to all of them. Claire is dropped off back in 2021 with Kate. That's where Kate gets the whole, I like this regeneration. I hope I meet it again, Doctor.
She doesn't. Spoiler.
So again,
she
is she going to be back in one of the specials? Maybe. Honestly, at this point, I don't care.
Oh god.
He's not giving me a reason to care.
Yeah, there's a mood.
I'm sorry, he just hasn't.
There is a reason to care, and that's the fact that he's almost gone.
There is a reason to care, Rainiac. It's more Doctor Who. It's more of the show.
At that point, that's not much of a comfort at the moment.
Okay, let's be fair. Just because Chibnall has fucked up so much, this is no longer Doctor Who. This is Doctor What the Fuck.
Doctor Who cares.
Doctor Who gives a shit.
Yeah, basically.
So we get
that wrap up. We get that one. That's not too bad. Bella and Vinda are going to go and explore the universe with Carvanista.
Much to his chagrin.
So Bella and Vinda were not the Doctor's parents. I am so relieved to admit.
I'm both relieved and I'm also like, come on, Chibnall, what was the fucking point? If you're not gonna tip over the apple cart completely.
The point was to trick you.
Again, I'm getting ahead.
The point was to make you believe they were the Doctor's parents and they weren't.
Again, I'm getting ahead of myself.
They were two big red herrings.
Was, hey guys, remember Amy and Rory? Remember how they were in love and they were separated? Well, now they're back together, just like Amy and Rory was.
Yeah. Well,
remember 2010 when the show was good?
Will you please stop making a joke?
No, because it keeps being relevant.
As soon as Chibnall has an original idea in his body, and instead of nostalgia leftover slurry.
Okay.
I will say I did kind of like the scene with the Doctor and Yaz where she apologizes to Yaz for not telling her anything.
I also liked this scene.
Yeah, that seems fine.
I also wish that they just fucking kissed because it was obviously leading to that.
That scene is fine.
Kiss.
And the fact that the Doctor admits that she was in the wrong and should have let her in, great. The scene between Dan and Claire and Diane, and it's Dan and Claire, terrible.
Holy shit, Diane! The fuck is wrong with you?
She had a I don't know. I don't know with this. I don't know.
She can't forgive Dan for her getting kidnapped by the Ravagers.
Aliens.
But if Dan had been there, he'd just have been taken with her, and they would have been fed to the Time Bridge. Dan's the reason she's still alive, but she can't see it.
Womp womp. Well, we got to free Dan up from his obligations so he can travel in the TARDIS.
Yeah, it's just to get him back inside the TARDIS for New Year.
Yet again, I'll say it because the plot needs it to happen.
Yeah.
Which can I take this next bit, Rain? I let you go off on the time and the Ravagers.
Absolutely. So
this I feel.
All that remains is to resolve the Timeless Child arc. And by resolve, I mean not. Go ahead.
Yeah. So okay. So the Doctor reveals after this apology to Yaz, and Dan can't find room. As she reveals, she picked up the watch that the Ravagers had been taunting her with. The watch with all her memories. So, for the past, 22 months? Since March 2020. Since a fucking pandemic began. Well, it began earlier, but you know what I mean. But since lockdowns.
Yeah.
A long time ago. Since then, we've had this hanging thread. The Doctor has a lifetime's worth of lost memories, and she's desperately sore about what could be in them and would like them back. And she's gone so far in flux to get them back that she's been deliberately holding back from Yaz and not telling her the truth, not communicating, and she's apologized for that now, but she actually has the memories in hand now. She actually has them. She can access them anytime she wants, and she decides to throw them into the TARDIS equivalent of a junk drawer and say, well, you give this to me whenever I ask for it, if I ever want it again. No, I don't need these for now. Boop. Just so this is another case, I think. This is where the emotional comes in, where this happens because the plot needs to happen. The Doctor has...
I will argue against that because there is one plot reason as to why she does this, and that's specifically the idea that she is afraid of exactly what she might find in those memories, and if it might change her to get those memories back into the person she was when she was part of Division and doing all those horrible things Tecteun alluded to.
Noted, but I will also raise...
It's still stupid, but that's my devil's advocate moment.
If that's the intention, why don't you, I don't know, show that on screen with her reaction or anything other than blankly staring at the thing and throwing it away? Maybe even a little line, I'm not ready to look yet. I don't know. Or anything, for God's sake. And you can't say, and it's not even the case of you can say, oh, well, he's being ambiguous, because this is Chris Chibnall. He hammers every goddamn other thing over the head. When he wants to communicate something, you fucking know it. So the absence of communicating something is not ambiguity with him. It is a refusal. The Doctor is not the one putting the watch away. Chris Chibnall. Because either he's not ready to do it and he'll do it in the specials, or he doesn't. His intention never was to do it at all, and he was just going to tip over the apple cart of lore and light it on fire before grabbing a fire extinguisher and going, "Oh, sorry guys, sorry. Oh, you want some apples? Ooh, I'm sorry I burned these apples. I didn't mean to. I was going to burn the apple cart."
Oh, but Frizz, you forget the third option. He has nothing to put there.
That's true.
He came up with this idea and has nothing for it.
And this is where the true ethos of the Chris Chibnall era really comes into focus, just in pure macrocosm. The Chibnall era, in full, is basically a series of Chibnall dangling plot threads and saying, maybe I'll do something interesting with this if you keep watching. And then, when you get to the end and are dissatisfied, he pulls it away and is like, I don't want to do anything interesting with that. And the fact that he's been dangling more of these threads with that whole prophecy and whatnot, Chibnall's modus operandi is, if you keep watching, something good might happen, something neat, I might do something interesting if you just keep watching. And I remarked that Chibnall doesn't resemble a storyteller like this. He resembles a ratings shark, someone whose only concern is cynically getting eyes on Doctor Who, making sure that you watch, keeping you invested, making sure you stay tuned, but not, crafting interesting stories that make you want to stay tuned, but just, dang blip threads that might come to something. I'm fully convinced that in a year's time when he leaves, half of the shit's going to be unresolved, and he's going to be metaphorically laughing, I got you, fuckers, I got you! You thought it was going somewhere! But I got you to watch. I got 5 million you fuckers to watch. Thanks for the money, dipshits.
I have 2 things to say about this. The first thing I'm going to say is he's not a rating shark. He's a fisherman. He's constantly out there laying out these hooks with baits on it. And, some people nibble at it. Some people get fully into it. But the people who care too much, they get turned into sushi.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
It's also the plot of an episode of SpongeBob, but a meme for everything.
A meme for everything!
But the other thing I thought about is, I don't know if they're going to do this, because obviously Chibnall is allergic to having good TV, apparently. But I had an idea. When the Doctor regenerates, it would be kind of cool if the TARDIS gave back the fob watch, and she opened it just in time so that she could regain the memories as she regenerated and turned into Jo Martin.
That would be a way to get Jo Martin some proper doctor-ish moments. Yes,
it's not going to happen.
It's
but
not
hey,
gonna
Big
happen.
Finish, maybe you can retcon that for us.
I think that the shelving of the fob watch is literal.
No.
I think this is Chibnall putting away his toys and never getting them out the pram again. So what the hell was the point of the entire story?
The point, Rainiac, was fishing hook. Look at the dang little worm.
Not good enough.
Yummy. No, I completely agree. We're fucking suckers.
And
I feel like a fucking sucker for having
at
said
the end of
to
the
this
Centenary
that you go
special,
somewhere.
the Doctor finds herself unable to regenerate, and in desperation she turns to the TARDIS and says, "Get me the watch," and she uses the watch to regenerate into a past form. Jo Martin will be ideal for this, but it doesn't have to be Jo Martin. It could be any past Division Doctor, right?
It could be anybody. Yeah.
That could be all right. I will give it a bit of a pass because at least it actually had a point. Yes,
But,
exactly,
Rain,
exactly. That gif is
but-
right, Kat.
But
Yeah.
Rain, then again, you're falling into the same fucking trap of the fish in the lake, where you're thinking, well, maybe Chibnall will actually do something with this. When we've seen over the past 4 fucking years, he doesn't.
No, I've just told you that
do
would be
anything
nice. I think
interesting with
he
this
will
shit.
never mention it again.
Look, here you go. Here's all the Doctor Who fans getting into the Flux season.
Oh God.
I mean, for everything.
Yep.
I mean, fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, that's what makes Chibnall so fucking frustrating. Like, I write these at the beginning of every season, like, well, we're back with Chibnall. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Well, these are some interesting hooks. I wonder if they'll go anywhere. And then by the end, I just feel like such an idiot, having thought for even a second that he was going to go anywhere with anything or say anything about anything, because, again, this episode doesn't say anything much about anything. It's just a bunch of flashy Doctor Who shit for Doctor Who shit's sakes.
Yeah.
Like I said, this feels like a bait and switch because we had these fantastic, well, maybe not fantastic, but we had these good episodes leading up until, Survivors, and then it all went to shit.
I mean, I don't want to forget.
So it's Series 12.
The year specials might do him some favors where we get it's almost like the Sonic cycle, if you've seen that, where you forget just enough about how bad the last ending was that you're like, oh, a new thing. Maybe it'll be good. Oh, wait, no, it's bad again. Apologies to any, Sonic fans out there, but, you've dealt with this shit, I'm sure. You've had your disappointments in that fandom, but...
The entirety of Sonic 06.
Yeah, but I mean...
You're welcome for your nightmares.
But here's the absolute worst thing about the ending of The Vanquishers and the ending of Flux. They don't even state whether or not the universe is reset.
Oh, no, we know for a fact it has not.
Well, some people think it has, some people think it hasn't.
No, we know for a fact it has not because they did not finish destroying the universe. The Earth is still around. Atropos is still around. They have not finished their work. They were supposed to destroy everything, and then they would bring everything back. The universe is still fucked. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's gone. It's just gone.
Whoopsie diddle do.
Okay. I don't really care at this point.
I mean, there's a.
It's like I get the hope that some people are feeling that the entire universe is back. It's not. It's just not. Logic dictates that there is nothing left. There's just the Earth, some broken down pieces, and Atropos.
Good God.
And he again passing it on to his future self. Maybe he'll do something good. Wiggle, wiggle, fishy. Bite
So
little
you know
worm.
what we're essentially going to have for who knows how long, depending on if they actually get to fix the universe.
The next
we're going to have
year?
the third Doctor's era again, where he's just trapped on Earth.
Maybe?
Jodie and her future selves are just going to be trapped on Earth.
But
until
surely,
we get
eventually,
this fixed.
somebody's going to have to fix this, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, I mean, even if it's RTD coming back and saying, "Oh, we found the universe," blah 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 blah, we fixed it.
We found the universe on
Yeah,
the back of the sofa.
Because that's the fucking. You know what? I'm just gonna say this joke again. Somehow the universe has returned.
Damn it, you beat me to it.
Damn.
But, like, let's think about what Chibnall has really done to Doctor Who. He's done the whole Timeless Children thing, where he essentially rewrote the Doctor's entire backstory, put in this whole, like, several lives that she does not remember, because the Division did some bullshit to her and made her forget. And he has erased all of the Time Lords again and turned them into Cyber Lords.
And then
And that
killed
was
them,
last
presumably.
season.
And then killed them, presumably, with the whole bomb in Kosharnas.
Yeah, who fucking knows if they're still around or not, or if the Master's still around. Apparently he is, because we got the teaser. Now we get to the point where Chibnall has introduced antimatter into this whole thing and has destroyed a majority of the universe with antimatter. How the fuck are they going to reverse antimatter, which completely cancels out any sort of matter?
Who the fuck knows?
There's going to be some heavy bullshitting here.
Yeah. Well, bullshitting is the thing for Doctor.
I know, but this is like ultimate level bullshit, in my opinion.
That's a big mood. So should we wrap this fucker up?
Can I please go last?
Who's going last?
Can I please go last?
Yeah, you can go last. Kat, do you want to go first?
I'll sum it up for all of us. It was shit.
There's a mood. Do you have more than that, or is that?
I mean, I've already pretty much ranted about everything I had a problem with. It's like, the story ends bad. It ends bad. It is bad. There's so much problem. Just the entire thing is just a problem. Like, the ending is a problem. The events that happen are a problem. The fact that you made time and legitimate being and it does nothing is a problem. Just, Chris Chibnall's a problem. That's all I can say. If you want to know my overall thoughts, start back at the beginning of this episode and just listen to me rant.
Yeah,
It's shit.
So it is bad, but it did not incite the anger in me that Survivors of the Flux did. But still, it is harrowing and horrifying in its nothing. I mean, once again, it is an episode that isn't about anything. In fact, I think most of the season of Flux was about nothing save for Doctor Who-ness. In that sort of sense. It's just, hey, it's a show about the show. It may have had some things here and there, but not really. But this story, The Vanquishers, is just emblematic of Chibnall and endings. He's worse than and I mean, I quite like this author. He's worse than Stephen King at writing endings. At least Stephen King admits it.
At least Stephen King usually has a plot that makes sense.
Yeah, he has things to say and weird shit. I mean, some of his novels are admittedly from a darker time in his life, shall we say.
It's like, do I understand the whole fact that now appliances are alive and there are living trucks trying to run people over? No, but at least he fucking tries to explain it away.
Yeah, he made but The Vanquishers, it really is emblematic of Chibnall because it's where I really realized that all this Hook stuff is not just for his series. It's for the entire fucking era. He's just going to lead people along with the vague implication that he's going to do something good to keep eyes on the show, which is genius from a marketing perspective almost. You almost wish he had some actual marketing and teasing the show, but like that's another discussion. But that's really just the whole ethos of the Chibnall era summed up. Well, I didn't say anything here, but maybe if you watch the next one, I'll do something good.
Balls so blue they match the TARDIS.
But yeah, it just doesn't. Like, there's some funny bits, there's some good bits, but they're few and far between.
I'm not as indignantly angry as I was with Survivors of the Flux, but really, I am fucking checked out of Chris Chibnall by now. And the way he resolved his arc by just shelving it, it's like, what? If I wanted that kind of shit, I'd just watch Sylvester McCoy Doctor Who again. Because, they raised the mystery and then put it away because they knew they couldn't resolve it, but they didn't tease you about resolving it. They just added the mystery. But Chibnall, he doesn't feel like he's doing that. He feels like he's doing it to keep eyes on the screen and ratings up. And I feel like a fucking moron for falling for it. So, this episode's bad. Chibnall era, not great. Shane. Rain, go wild.
Okay, so December the 5th, 2021 will turn out to be a very significant date in my life. Because it was the date I realised that not one but two things that I really enjoy are not going to get any better until there are significant changes. And that's Formula 1 and Doctor Who. Now, Formula 1, I'm not going to go into great detail because this is not a sports podcast. Let's just say that in the last race, something happened and it was complete bullshit. And basically, a driver hit another driver, and the driver he hit got penalised instead of the one that hit him.
Oh, that is bullshit.
Yeah, okay.
And people that watch the race and know the sport will know what I'm talking about, and hopefully will agree, but they're allowed to disagree because I don't control their opinions. And with Doctor Who, The Vanquishers proves the point where I realise this will never get any better until there are significant changes. We've peaked, or rather we've hit the lowest ebb of Chibnall.
Rock bottom.
It's not getting any better than this. And that's not to say that The Vanquishers is completely terrible. It's not. There's things in there that are actually quite good and quite enjoyable. The Sontaran chocolate bit is ridiculous, but just ridiculous enough to actually be amusing. Jericho is handled particularly well, even his death. His heroic death is had potential. Also, by the way, I got it wrong. What an awfully big adventure is not Winnie the Pooh, it's Peter Pan. He says to Wendy, to die would be an awfully big adventure. I got that wrong, I put my hands up to it. And it makes sense because, he's dying. Jericho's dying in that moment, so it makes more sense.
Honestly, who gives a fuck?
Exactly. But the worst thing about The Vanquishers isn't even the things that happen in The Vanquishers, although parts of it are terrible. It's the feeling, it's the realisation that none of it matters.
Yeah.
None of the things that have been built up have any consequence to the narrative. Not a one. Tamna's child dropped down the TARDIS, never to be seen again, potentially. Or brought back when she really needs it. It could be, it might not be, it probably won't be. Fight against the future. Dropped on the floor to maybe be mentioned again, maybe not. Unit being infiltrated by bad guys. Oh, sorry, an actual good concept? No, we can't talk about that. You get my point. I'm just so exhausted. Waiting.
It's like, I'm sorry to interrupt you at this point, but you talking about that made me realize something. By doing this, Chibnall has basically erased anything that the Doctor has done past the year of 2021.
So he's the Flux.
Yeah. Because the Flux destroyed the universe. Yeah. Well, that's true.
It's just got to the point where it is exhausting, waiting, praying, hoping for something to happen. And this weekend I realised it's not going to happen, and I shouldn't waste my time and my life waiting for it to happen. So I'm just going to go into the next 3 episodes, enjoy the bits that are good, talk about the bits that are bad, but I can't get invested.
You hit the point I hit last week.
Yeah. I'm not quitting the show, but I'm checking it out.
Not considering you make it.
No, I don't mean this show. I mean the show, Doctor Who.
We're just waiting for RTD to come back.
And what if that's not good either?
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like I said, it could be. We are having the hope that he's improved as a writer. He wouldn't just come back to make us to give us nostalgia leftovers from the David Tennant days, but also that possibility is there, and it's fucking terrifying.
The show is taking a leap into the dark, and we're taking a leap into the dark with it.
It's the ultimate. Remember when the show was good? Moment.
Yeah.
We'll just bring back.
I'm sorry for bringing it down so much.
No, I mean,
This
what I
entire
did
thing
last
was
week.
down, I hate to tell you.
Look what I did last
But
week.
I think you can hear just the resignation in my voice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with
I
you.
will say one good thing to uplift at least your spirits, Frez.
Oh,
Because the
God.
entire universe is destroyed, that means Kerblam will never happen.
You know, that is a good point. You raised an interesting upside.
So there you go.
Okay.
True.
Hey. Wow, we did it! We destroyed space capitalism!
And all it took was the, death of the universe.
But you didn't do
Yeah.
anything, didn't I?
What do we got next time, Rain?
Okay,
Well, what
well,
happens next time is QB comes up to the doctor and says, "Contract?"
Oh, son
No.
of a bitch.
no.
No, God, no.
Well, next time for Doctor Who, but not for us, we've got the New Year special.
Oh, hey, actually, I have something related to this that'll also get you guys angry.
Oh, boy.
So here's a question for you guys. What do you think is the appropriate time to show a trailer for the next story?
Oh, BBC America did a thing again.
Is it A, right in the middle of the episode you're currently watching? B, right in the middle of the episode that you're currently watching? Or C, right in the middle of the fucking episode you're currently watching?
C!
D, none of the above.
Ding, 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 you're wrong, Rainiac, because it was right in the middle of the fucking episode I was watching at the time.
I know,
So,
I kind of
great.
figured that out.
I got spoiled for the entire ending by knowing that the next time there was going to be a time loop with Daleks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
I don't think they had even been destroyed at that point by the flux.
No, they hadn't. So we got the ending. We got the trailer after the end of the credits, as you're supposed to.
Yeah, lucky.
It's
Yeah,
called
I
Eve of the
don't know.
Daleks. So it's another Dalek episode, but this one actually would have some potential.
There you go again, Rainiac.
I
getting
know,
hope.
I know, but I've wanted to see a time loop story for ages.
I mean, Heaven Sent?
Yeah, but you only find out there's a time loop at the end of it. I'm talking about a time loop for the entire story, running through the narrative.
Oh.
And there's some interesting things you could do with this. Also, it shows the Doctor getting exterminated, so that's something.
Yay.
Goody.
Maybe that's what time meant. It's just that's her eventual death, and then
It
time is just
absolutely
like,
isn't.
Hee hee, this is funny. Loop it again.
It absolutely isn't. Although I would like time to be
I
part
can
of this.
dream, Harold.
I would like time to be part of this. Like Time's Revenge. And again, if this were a writer that were a bit more clever, I'd almost like it if it wasn't actually the Daleks, but something taking the form of the Daleks. Like Time. Time has taken the form of the Daleks. To punish the Doctor for beating her.
Who even fucking knows?
We've also
at
got
this
a
point?
good guest star in Aisling Bea, who you won't know who that is, but she's pretty famous in the UK. Comedian and actor, and rather good at it. So there is potential here, but again, I'm falling for the hook.
I know, right? Don't you just feel like, I mean, we're doing the show thing, but it makes you feel like a fucking sucker that we're even bothering with it.
Yeah. However,
And it's-
I reject that next time and substitute it with my own.
Because we're free of the Chibnall era for
3
a couple
weeks.
weeks.
We're free for 3 or 4
Please,
weeks.
Which means we can
please,
watch...
something good.
And I made a promise to these guys that I would pick something entertaining or good or enjoyable. Something better than
Or all of the
Vanquishers.
above.
I have 3 choices for them.
Oh boy.
And they know about
Hey.
this. I've not told them the exact story that they're going to pick, but I've told them roughly what it is. So, their first choice is a classic Doctor Who story. The second
Yeah.
choice is a classic Doctor Who story featuring the Daleks.
Uh-huh.
And your third choice is a Christmas episode.
I think... Is this going to be the only other podcast we do in December?
I don't know that, honestly.
Because if we get another shot of the Christmas story...
Well, who's up
we could
next?
probably-
It'd be you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's...
So
well,
you could
it-
pick a Christmas episode. So if you want to do that and roll out the Christmas episode now, that's fine.
Yeah, let's go with... I'm going to pick A, and we'll do... I'll
Well,
pick the
let's
next
see.
one.
So next week we're going to do Reigns, and then the week after that we're going to do Frez.
And then
we'll
we take a
have
break.
We'll have my turn next.
There won't be
Unless
time
you guys
for it.
don't wanna-
There won't be time for
Yeah.
it.
Well, if you would let
We'll
me
make
speak.
time for it.
If you would let me speak, I was going to say it's the 26th, so Boxing Day for you, right?
27th.
Whatever, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's
Christmas
when we
is a Saturday this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The 26th is Sunday. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but we do it on the Monday. All right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at the calendar. It'll work.
I will be
We got
busy on
3 weeks.
Boxing Day, I'm sure.
Because I mean, if they're gonna have the episode on New Year's Eve or whenever it is, that's Friday/Saturday.
They're having it on New Year's Day, which is Saturday.
Saturday then.
So we record on the Sunday after, or even the Monday.
Yeah,
well,
we record on the Sunday and the Monday, and then we're back to the schedule.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. I don't even care anymore.
So
Either way,
which classic
my
story do you want to pick then? The one without Daleks, the one with Daleks?
Without.
Yeah,
okay.
without.
All right. Well, you have chosen. You have chosen. So a classic Doctor Who story without Daleks. I think I can do that for you.
Does
So
this
next
mean
time-
you haven't actually picked something, or
Oh no, I've got it.
okay?
So next time on Doctor Who Reviews, Sylvester McCoy stars
Yay.
in Battlefield.
Oh yeah, thank God. The good Doctor Who. Good Doctor Who.
I'm just happy it's Sylvester McCoy. I love him.
And I haven't actually fully arranged this yet, but we might be joined by a special guest.
Ooh.
I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to make promises that I can't necessarily keep. But if they're up for it, we might be getting
Is
a
it
special
me?
guest
Am
for
I the
this
special
one.
guest?
No, you're a co-host.
The winner of
be a special
Wimbledon gets
guest.
to be the special guest.
Emma Raducanu is the new Doctor Who. That's a joke that only Fresno will get.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Battlefield. Great. Good Doctor Who. I'm happy with this.
It's one
I
I've
will
not
have
seen
good
before,
things-
but I know it's good.
Ooh. Well, you think it's good. I mean, it's McCoy.
I've been told by people I trust that it's good.
It is a good Sylvester McCoy story.
Join us next week when
I
those people
love-
have let me down terribly.
I'm just
Well-
happy for Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah.
We need a
Wait,
palate
question,
cleanser.
Question. What companion?
Ace.
Ace,
Fucking fantastic.
we've done all the Mel. Have we not?
It's like,
Yeah,
I don't
we
need
d-
anything
we ha-
else. I just want
We
that.
have done all the Mel. Yes.
There weren't that many Mel and Seven stories together.
We've literally done every Mel story.
Well,
because we
I
did-
don't know. I haven't looked that far into it because I
We
don't want
did
to
the
get spoiled.
we did the trial where she got introduced, and then we did all the McCoy stuff, and then she left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Rain, where can you find us, lovely people?
You can find us quietly losing our minds over on Twitter at Reviews Doctor. You can also find me regretting my decisions in life at Radiant the Maniac, Cats at Concave Usurper, and Fresno's at Freezing Inferno. Cat sometimes streams Among Us at twitch.tv/Concave Usurper.
Plus other games eventually.
And speaking of streaming, why, this Sunday, December the 12th, 2021, at twitch.tv/Freezing Inferno will be the beginning of my annual holiday streaming marathon, Fresmas number 11, running from the 12th to the 23rd, hopefully. 12 games, 12 streams, 12 opportunities for Kat to clip me saying things out of context and use on the show for the next year.
And what opportunity for
And
me
one
to...
episode where you're going to regret being my friend.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Which
how am I going to
probably will
accidentally
be the-
upset you this
Which
year?
probably will be the same episode. How will you upset me this year? What did you pick? Oh, you picked that. Okay, you picked that. Well, that might be... I mean, that might have some frustrating
I don't
bullshit.
think
I
that
don't
will
know.
frustrate you, but I didn't think the other games I picked would frustrate you, and I felt like a terrible friend afterwards, so...
That's the gamble that we play with Fresmas, my friend. What part of a video game will I be a complete goddamn imbecile at and get angry for?
It's the rake I keep stepping on.
No. Anyway,
Alright, Sideshow Bob.
That is what I was referencing.
I think that's all I need to plug on the thing.
Yeah, you've got your plugs in. We've promoted Krista, who's now a rival and will never be mentioned again.
Right. No,
I'm joking.
no. Joking.
I hope she gets.
I mean-
she sees the funny side. I can't speak. Jesus. I hope she sees the funny side of that.
I've got a completely random plug that we can do again.
Uh-huh.
Give me money. I have a Ko-fi. It's on my Twitch page.
Hey.
You
It's the
sat through
holidays.
this. You sat through
It's
this.
the
You deserve to
holidays.
get somebody for a coffee.
Fucking
Hashtag buy
hey,
cat a
pal.
coffee.
hey, Hashtag.
Hashtag help pay for my bills throughout the holiday season.
Yeah, there's a mood.
Because guess who got fired from her job again?
Oh,
No,
I'm sorry.
that's rough.
I got laid off because they had too many people and not enough work.
As I look at the clock, we've been doing this for over 2 hours.
Say goodnight, Rainiac.
Good night.
Good night, Raniac.
Join us next time. Thank you to you for watching this. And thank you to Fresno and Cap for enduring this. And join us next time for Battlefield, with or without a special guest. Until then, bye for now.
At least I'll have more time to stream now.